Yeah, Baba, it's Nititi. Oh my God, Tana Boku be so family yote minkpe mo femo kemba ngmene ni femo oyi wala don wa ake ofebe ni ngmene nwe wa banna sande gba ye ni tete TV eno ngbeji ni tete obo bi ashon ni tete TV jino ni oko ne minkpa bo fa friend no yo kejo subscribe ko e bo modern ko no subscribe eyan wa ade nche ye shiba mi kejo subscribe atan minkpa bo fa bo modern ko ni oja ni fe mo ne ni okin ame fe ni your phone e mi ona bo ni ncho jake ame Big Baba Fire Shiba mi ja nke various groups ami no yo ye WhatsApp e bomo den koni yo ja chake mo ni minka bo fe wota wo e ka wo ifa na kan chake mo wo bana so Big Baba Fire Shiba mi ja ni fe mo ja ni fe mo ja nke komo ko na no ko ne ngolo no ja ke ha me na kai no ko ne yabo oliake gadan be sanjia yabo bomo ne no jale na kai no ja to mo boni ko na no ko ni agmo na fe ni bi no ja ona mo ni ncho fe mo na kai nke ke wo gbe fe o lumweni nye wo yin ame ba bun wo to ebo by force Shike gbe efe me enyo ke me tepe ame na aka o me na ma me be serious ni ka fo ame da ame mbolo ka ame yedwe Shike wo ifa ni wo gbe efe o ame ba nu wo yi ko liake boni gandan me ya no sumo o liake boni gandan me ya no otawo oliake boni gandan me ya no esani chake mo aba nke bo mo de no ja ni fe mo ne ja ole no ko ni ko fe ne wa ni fe mo bo mo de ami gonti no ni ya nwe ko like mo ami like mo ona like mo gonti no ni ya nwe yeno ya je o fa ne ko gbe na wona come and test she no call you so phone alo tablet hello ni tete to yo ten bo ba nyo bi mi na kai ona bo ni cho to mo bo ni bi obo hello te mo fo mo yo ten bo ba nyo fe na kai what's our back on kan dan no ya ewo ni wo yo bi e nko bu akebo wo betim a ni wo betim b wana no koni wa susu mo mie eja na ke no ya ke hwele mo wa gandan me wo ba tabia ni wo ba yue ni ka wana bolu mo ko no fe no ko na ke no ya ke hwele mo ba nwe wo ba yue wa eche mo ko ni wonye mo ko wa ba mo ko agenda fite mo ni wa ba mo ko agenda push mo ye aje Mia Jane, Nakanyu Wabomye. Aji! Gogo! Gaga! Gogo! Gaga! Gogo! Gaga! Gogo! Oyi wala don wa dienche oyi wala wa don ni wa job nke ko ejomo ko no sumo no chon ya eshiba mi kewo eni akejomo chon mo wo ni blofo chole comment section e alo yibo no na ye ni fe mu ne no banye no kema je mi ejeme ingbe twa enyope bo mode no kan mi ejeme ona boni ncho da ho mbu ana ni ani mambi efe nu ogbe wa ke wakpe ni mene nke bo bagbala bi asande inye me ni yola mene miss mo ni nkanya na sande gba fi o eja ke ye ochi edwe ju enumo alo epa bi ami na mi na ke ni bi komen yano ni mi panyo fa ye shiba mi sani wonye wo gbasane ye eja ke no ni na eke no ya ke shole mo hala noni na ne ya no yela inke eke no ya ke shwelemo ala eke ba shimon eke nifite mo baba no ngene nke nyeme la me bagbasane ni makpache me ni yo la fai ake be shema sani kanto ashi kanto be shema sani kanto ashi kanto ke no nyeme la me ba ya lele efi omi ake due ina ayo ke ayi wala don ake ofe be ko no le before ni make bu ole ikenya ake there is a wind of change blowing nwe wo cheme ni nye wo ye na oblantai pi fe no ni mfi o na eko ko te Facebook ko te TikTok ko te Instagram o te oba Twitter Snapchat e fe no ba ya oblantai eteshi na men Kenya ke cheme etowo ni taflache mi panya fa ye cheme ke na wa ke gbeke bi ni wole noko lalen wakanye je woni gbeke bi ji woni wole noko shitaflache be kome dwemo jo gbeke ichomi ne yo nu pa ichomi no wache meji nye mo ne shi won panye fa ibe she ni asani nye fe tu eke awo yue mo ekomi no le mo fe mo no yo gandang be shikpo no sole mo agamashi nke ngene nke baba yue la asane shi sole mo agamashi mene mankene nke la ni la agamashi ye ekola because of injomo ne ke gandang be sanji ne gba na ne ni wo mi dwen ya ni ya wo ni nkete la momi shikaje na kan niye la sisue mo baba gamashi la mo ni la na kan ila ni otwa manche ko yichotu nche na kan manche egbe nchon obo ni eke basa ke la sisue mo baba o bagamashi. I'm not a prophet of doom. She mean pabo fai. No fe no yo. Ko kwani fe mo na atan. No te aka ya wo. Chema kan ni yen no bajo mo no bato enjole ke swe gamashi no onu min pabo fai wa. Igala ni la e pagamashi poto. Eja ka twamanche ko ichotun nche na ka manche egbe yan abo. No min pabo fai. No fe no cho. Ken pa yo le yeli. Min pabo fai ye na kan pa ye gamashi. ko solio Islam min kpabo fai solemo a gamashi ke Kristo jamo jino no ja min kpabo fai solemo a gamashi ke bo Hare Krishna Buddhist nyojibo min kpabo fai solemo a gamashi no fenu no yo min kpabo fai ya o solemo he ni o sole e gamashi wasumoni me koma bi ahin ba patan la sisue mo be eho keji wona noko ya no ni wasumo waka wona abuba yue abamo e klante atula etuwe na kan bia me eho so blantani yo gamashi min kpane fai nyika ni manchako yusu anye ninye kwa anye nyema hie ninye bomo ame klante alo nye chula ame tui inka na kan bia mi eho kama ko ya eko moko konoko no fila ake yeke akoto ni kotu ajeji bia mi na bomo e klante na chula ete na chula eche na chula etu inka na kan bia mi eho wasumo la siswemo ya mashi min kpabo fire eshiba mi before ninka bo baya no Helen kokodasi nishika ni nyeke ba fe I deposit I can receipt ehami inna ke yime I deposit shinkebo ake won need 100,000 cedis 100,000. You know, as a matter of fact, as an inka come on. Inka receipt me screen no. Liako bana right there. She donate deposit 13,000 cedis and some change. 13,000 cedis. I get a hospital go ona you know St. Joseph noko be ona. Yeah, so I pay your hospital ona bonin show. So we have a long way to go. We need 100,000 cedis. Bako nani wa donate donation. Liaka nye ba donate na kanjinjo mo no mi nche bako wa deposit 13,000. Yeah, 100,000 ni we need your me. So we have a long way to go. So min kpabo fa keji okwani fe mo ne ni okay o donation na bakwe bomo de ni okeba gbe no na Helen ele de nche gbe yo no eya mokomoko ngo shika fe bed ntomo beni nke ebe ona ka deposit nke receipt e chombo no juno no na screen no min kpabo fa mide nche mami Mavis na amele mide nche mami Mavis na amele ima oyura don gba de nche oyiwala don nwa job mene woni ne share o donation no mide nche mami Mavis na amele ima nyuma job na ewo no Inkebo akelela nele ka twanege no mine nche mami America kome Imami, this is one of her favorite songs. America in people sane no oje komina inke lala no leko. Alo no mi oshi group Sano ga na aje mu aba ona keke nke man bi Aje mi kwenye kwese pabiba Pabibe no kwafine pabiba Pabibe no kwafine pabiba Katoko ncheni nejino amodwe fumi menemi wala efe Aje Mene Aje America Oyi wala do tumo beni nkebo ba you last Sunday. Nole for the past couple of weeks keji okwela this squad at a press conference ba. This squad about respond inyemela me na kan no ke ya no lu mini jinuni ekababala anenye binye yake sholemo ke no ya ni nyeta wo ne ke press conferences ne ni ka teshilebi kwata ne ka meno eba koda ne ka me no eba koda ne ka me no eba koda ne ka me no eba and in minute you know nefe ne advance the solutions that you all seek. The press conference is the job. Various squads say it has done nothing than to deepen the divisions ni yola. And it's about time catch me ni nyela manye e ya me twi mi aka lela me sumola ni amenta no ya ka shole mu abala be mo e sani ni ke press conferences ne e say afro be shana sani kanto ashi kanto be shana sani ime akwa ime be shana sani nyemi akwa nyemi hie Nia basane ake lakome mimbi. Enough of the press conferences. In Yemeni yola, enough of the press conferences. Nye wanye mambie press conferences e bela mashi. Beeshe nia saninyi all these press conferences aside. Put your differences aside and come together as one people. Yang allow me na take advantage of these divisions na can junior nibi na can plapla nye na kula nye nibi ni ole noko keji e kome fe mo ye shishi mo ba shini nye konye fe kome ye newo nye tia me kome no shishi onye newo mene oba balasani mene oba kane nimpi in a write up ko ni inyeme ni yo ablade TV ame post if you make wanyeme la nyueko ni ngana kan write up masumo ni makane na kan write up maabo ni kan na kan write up time isana another letter ni aggrieved members of Mati Abonase Abese and Leshi division amena no masumoni makande mahabu ninkole until ni nyeba chenye yatashi ake nyemi kenyemi until ni nyeba chenye yatashi ake gbeme kome until ni nyeba chenye yatashi ake lakome mimbiye fio mi ake abayano na abaklo nye shikpoji niole nyetia me komo nukpa no ni nyenye amenu ameka politicians ka businessmen ba fe kome na ba lutu nyemo inyeme ni nyeyola kenye nta onye luti na safwe kenye nta onye hold some of your leaders accountable then I'm telling you okay, it's about time ninye ba put your differences aside. Until ninya ba fe na kan abaya no ne keson no atumo beni nke abue makane na kan article ni nani wanyaminu ekome egma ye la sanjia hi kenkani ata wolu any agreed members of Mati Abonase Abese and Leshi division wolu na megma masumoni no makane mahabo ni no ani makane mahabo ne ni kane fe no ni na yamie no jino ni no nko boe be she na sana put these differences aside be she na sani kanto ashi kanto be she na sani ekome fe mo aba akegbeme ekome boni afi ni totomwe kani bi ne te no ye la ne ja ne sa fe mini fe se afo na suspend la traditional council can you back here over the I think last week or so well I can obe cheme ekwe na you any be no obe mi na ba fe be abani abagbele She kenya ba kaye nyeba kaya ke la traditional council na suspended engola bi come piana and some quarters come la na ngome na ke suspendi no ame ke ka me come to ele akagbele noko ona boni chon akagbele noko si body ncheke okwe no ni te no onake ate no na agbele nkun efi omi ake noni ba ba no ye la ebahin efi omi ake noni ba ba no ye la ebahin because se come fe mo bako tu enjoy bako anu esisiolo no na anu esisiolo nani mo fe mo sumo akesi afe eyi fe mo moni wa article actually Prince Derrick Aje eke boku 2.0 if La burns, Ghana burns with it. Na kenje title Ablade TV online. Ene ye my Facebook page. If La burns, Ghana burns with it. Ni makande mahabo. Koni wakwani bi ekomeni yomi. Article ne ngona nina. Now, kwambo tuwe. Again, the unfolding drama in La is not a chieftaincy crisis, but a disguised land looting spree. Again, the unfolding drama in La is not a chieftaincy crisis, but a disguised land looting spree. Nkebwake morning mane actually Prince Derrick Aje numo oyiwala don ko ni ma. Nyole efe mi ake moko yela ni e ba je won yake je manche yeli san ya play o yela hi efe to ma play manche yeli e je no ajano na ho shipon na juma la ma shipon mojunu ni ya me fi ame ye kome na me fi ame icho mi npo ni ame fe mi yake as long as in the division ne ba yin la I'm a avenue now make a draw now make a patala ma ni bi ayin that avenue will still exist so me no asana me sa manche ko sandi ka sa na ke manche sandi ni mo fe kome ni atashi na atuni aka nyemi ka nyemi be mo konye jemi na edu sini na kan fe mo bako ewo anya ya no na haju ne wo min kanya kenye melame kenye die nche nye ntaw no ni ya no nye nhikpojia no ese afue sani nyemi ane noko ni nyemi conclave felehi ni atashi ni adwe she na I mean these press conferences it only goes to deepen the division but we Egela has the choicest of prime lands in Ghana. You cannot dispute it. And host almost all the embassies and the security agencies in Ghana, as well as other key installations, including the Kotoka International Airport, educational institutions, including major universities, secondary schools, and major health facilities, such as the University of Ghana Medical School, the Bank of Ghana Hospital, among others. Onyoje wandi lama shipon jiano all these ni bi ne fe no hotels embassies fe pretty much except for no ni me ajosuma no mi ona bonincho Kotoka International Airport, University of Ghana, Labia no I mean boninche kwa mo shipon fe so no emale first paragraph. Now the unfolding disaster in La is not a chieftaincy crisis, but land looting and a cover-up disguised as such. Ni na kan no enye ya no. Because chemenye compromise. Chemenye kake eyi no na wo etowo. Bia ne wonta wo togbe no. Alo wo kwegbe no. Niki wo fe ni bi ko me kan no ya ka hwele mo baba. Cheme taflache adwen na kan yolo. Cheme kwa na kan yolo. Feboni ameyale na kanu ameyale. Ni la mempin. Nibi na sani la amena. Labi ana. Labi na. Nibi na sani obrantani yo la ameni ni asheno. Ameni ni sheno. Ejake cheme ni nye la amaye. Amenyano. Ni amenfe. Nibi. Neba continue. Neba deepen the division. Ni men take advantage of it. They are taking advantage of it. Na lutu la amashikong. The chieftaincy institution is guaranteed under the Constitution of Ghana. The Constitution is the supreme law of Ghana. However, the Chieftaincy Act as well as customary laws and usage are also admissible. The government of Ghana, in keeping with the principle of indirect rule during the colonial era, instituted the traditional councils under the local government structure to interface with the chiefs of Ghana and through them their subjects. These traditional councils are statutory bodies administered by registrars appointed by the local government ministry and under the guidance of the regional house of chiefs and the chieftaincy ministry. There are various categories of chiefs, including paramount chiefs, divisional chiefs, and sub-chiefs with varying titles depending on the locality. To understand the rapidly unfolding drama in La, a brief background is provided below. So, fine, from a perspective, noni yo, noni ya no, nibi ni ya no ye la, noni yo sene. Now, ekoleke la nyojibwe, you may have a different perspective altogether. Shikeje la nyojibo tumomie. I think this is worth reading and understanding, at least a give up a perspective. It may not entirely be accurate. Jela nyojimi ile. Kemo koje ekonklo ekole na le tomoboni wanyemi nune na le onaboni nchon. So I'm not telling you this is sacrosanct, dabi, but bear with me. For education purposes, I will call it nakai. Ni wakwake mini jino ni yomi. La is in Accra, in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. La lands span a huge area from Peduase through Adentan, Medina, Legon, Airport, Cantonments, Laboni, and Westwards towards Kuntunse, and are several villages and towns eastwards towards the Dodoa Forest. La has the choicest beaches in Ghana with resorts and hotels that are very much lucrative. Be wamali la Palm Beach na ke la jo la Royal Beach ni MPPB ba male ake bonyomo no wo amenta na me wa Brian Champon ni afine amefe bona dividends na me pay over 16 million Ghana cedis. Ame pay ko na kan dividend ken ako snit down on aboni chon. Now, La owns the only carbon sink in Accra, the Achimota Forest, and adjoining lands, 1/3 of which it's ceded to Osu. La hosts almost all the embassies in Ghana, the security services, and other key installations, including the Kotoka International Airport, educational institutions, including major universities and secondary schools, as well as major health facilities such as the University of Ghana Medical Center, the Bank of Ghana Hospital, among others. So come on, because look, almost all the prime lands near your Greater Accra, Lamano, almost. And you know how expensive these lands are. You know. East Legon Shikponji, Osu Shikponji, Cantonment Shikponji. I mean, just look at these places. Come on, like any embassy say your fame. Come on. Our own Shikponji $1 million. Some of these places, one plot, yeah, an acre. A plot of land, a cost of $1 million. Some of these places. So Bonincha. So J Shomo Shipong ayo when it comes to value. Ni any yo J Shomo bekebi na kanje. In Accra, a chief is called a manche. The paramount chief of La is the La Manche. La has only one chief. La has only one La Manche. La has only one Jase, made up of the ruling houses headed by a Jaseche. The La Manche is an ex-official member of the La Jase, which is the embodiment of the La stool. The La Jase is responsible for the upkeep of the stool and custodian of stool property. Only persons who hail from the appropriate royal family lineage and bloodline can be selected and installed as chiefs or manche. In La, El Lumo is a royal. La royals hail from Lumoshishi. So this word is self-explanatory. Lumoshishi. So Lumojibo. Called je Lumoshishi. Pretty much Lumojibo. Nye alo nye shishi jemeje na wo lumoye. Akonowe is the last two house. Alo Akonowe. If I can tell or do back kemi inye melame. Akonowe is where the La Manche sits to rule La. Originally, the La Manche was a Wulomo, but due to his spiritual responsibility to the Lakpa, Wulomo and the Numocha Wulomo. No. But let me take it again. Originally, the La Manche was a Wulomo. But handed where they miss here be no one you find can write up no but I get this very paragraph where they miss here no one in can originally the La Manche was a Wulomo, but I can put a bet handed is spiritual responsibility to the Lakma Wulomo and then Yungwacha Wulomo to focus on the chieftaincy role of the Manche. This is not peculiar to La. Pretty much, Boli, Gandangbe, Nuabatoe, Wulome, Amenamenye, until by Institute Neke Manche no Kone. The La stool owns the La lands, which were won through war and conquest. The forefathers vested these lands in the stool for the present and future generations. As La expanded, the Akuchei were allocated some of the stool lands, which were in turn given to some families or headsmen to act as caretakers of those towns and villages in trust for the stool, through the Manche, who is the occupant of the stool. Many conflicted persons within and outside La, including government officials from all three arms, have conspired to steal and expropriate last two lands. Lame. No. Noni an my be wafewole in can look government upon government ni bata no ame juola ma shikpoji femo ni ame yola ma wi femo ni femi na akake batabia ne lumweni nyela ma ye na kwake ame mingbla mo no enmegbe ni government ni bata no ya no na juwa me ni biye ni ame den cha me ba ka me yake etowo enough of the bear, enough of the inti enough of the inu nyemi na shishi ni no ewo government ni baba ame nchuno na ame njula me especially ne ka kufuado ke MPP government ne government kokwa bako ne julame to MPP government ne ewe ne moko baka ka oni NDC nyo NDC nyo jimi eji anukwale look indako shimi afi bi broni ye shipon ne no ne inako government ko ne julame ne yelama wi ne klolama ni bi to makufado MPP government ne. The unfolding drama in La is not a chieftaincy crisis, but a disguised land looting spree. The usurpation of the role of the La Manche, attempted annexation of the La stool and La Manche palace, is a ploy by some persons to defraud by false pretenses. There have been several press conferences, lawsuits, and countersuits. No me fe nye me la me ne fe anye. and the answers ke solutions ni ta wo neke press conferences na ni ya no ba mene fe wo mene fe mene asu mene we asu mene no me fe no ni ta wo and ye fe ha nyelo no ne woni nko nya ke enough of the press conferences. It's about time ni lumo ba cha me ni nyami ba cha nyami na ba ka ke etowo. The latest being the banter between Degmati Akuchoche, Degmati Shikiteli, and Degmati Youth. On Sunday, lawyer Ishia Akwete, representing Degmati Akuchoche, Ni Aje Buahin, in response to an earlier, another word miss here, in response to an earlier press conference, by Degmati Shikiteli, addressed the media and provided evidence of fraud leveled against one Fred Afful, formerly of the East La Dadekotopon Development Trust. This is what happens. When you continue to remain divided, this is what happens. You have people like this Fred Afful ne defrauding ye. Until ni ba fe kome neke no jino ni ba ya no. Neke no jino ni ba fe. Nye mingbla mo eno mogbe ne ba keti nye fe kome ni nye chenye yake nye menka ba kpa nye defraud mo. This is simple as ABC. This is simple as ABC. In Ghana, it is simple as ABC. It is simple as ABC. Awayano. On Tuesday, Fred Afful addressed the press, not in defense of the allegations made against him, but challenging the chieftaincy minister for closing and reopening the La Traditional Council. So I chono kwa gene ke Fred Afful ne ba allegations na make against the eba jie no na eba jie no na she eba you against chieftaincy minister ake nga Traditional Council no efo ake eba gbele. On the same Tuesday, an ex parte motion from Dengmati Shikiteli, claiming to be representing the last two and hoping to stop the reopening of the La Traditional Council, which suspension he was also opposed to. So Mati Shikiteli initially like namone na bangane sumo no tefiote na bana bagbele nwe na ekpene numo ofa na bi ene oya na jemo ko ejeme because like no me namone na bangane dabi no te balete na abagbele ke no ni wonyemi nu eyu anu kwale nle ni bono opozi gbele mo na abagbele mini wo. Anyways, liako ba kwa ni fe mo ne so liaka ke shishino moko ye obani ni yashe no. The objective of the writ, which was corresponded by the Shikiteli and Mankralo, sought to prevent the members from being invited to join the La Traditional Council. The writ targeted the chieftaincy minister, but strangely excluded the Greater Accra Regional Minister, under whose auspices the meeting to facilitate the reopening of the La Traditional Council was organized. The Regional House of Chiefs and the Attorney General were, however, included as defendants. It will be recalled that the Shikiteli and Mankralo have signed various land documents, including a controversial cantonment civil aviation land document in the name of the last two, and the Labadi Beach Hotel beachfront, and Peshi Lagoon Estuary to the son of Freddie Blay in the name of the La Traditional Council, which the Supreme Court had ruled to be illegal. Numo ofane lele ani osai neke wojine okay. The letter announcing the closure of the La Traditional Council indicated, among other things, land transactions. The forensic audit of the La Traditional Council, La Lands, including the East Legon Dadekotopon Development Trust and the La Beach revenues, is believed to be inking in some persons. Oh, so after forensic audit, cheme, ya ni wale amo, ene be no kona sani nyegbele na, koni la mefiana. Ke forensic audit, chonke aye koshika. Oh, koshikpon kone sana ho, sani nyegbele na nye chon la abi fe. Nila me fe anake na no allegations na aka mo la traditional council no aka amen won wan shiponji na amen clock like shika na fe forensic auditor etwo won akan o ene ichame esa ni po abi onye yi chame ene esa na abi onye beja afekof ene forensic audit ko shikeji lele afe forensic auditor saninya release Konila me fe anake allegations na level against all la traditional council fe ebeni cheme oh alonye me o mo ni le mi panyo fai keji forensic audit na afe na me ni le mi pa fai nye ba nye moko ba nye ke send mi ko ni makwa mi pa fai nye ke send ami. The Ngmati situation is not unique because their leadership rivalries exist in 3 other Akuche, which were expected to be present at the La Traditional Council tomorrow when it is reopened by the Greater Accra Regional Minister. The Ngmati Shikitele is a member of the La Traditional Council, whereas the Ngmati Akuchoche Ni Aje Boahin was a member until he was taken ill. Upon his return, he was prevented despite his gazette, a situation the Chieftaincy Ministry and the Regional House of Chiefs find irregular. Now, was he prevented because a challenge elumoyeli a court? Because in Kayake, Biamini Siketeli a press conference, Noji Nokone Yue. Ake many penena basita me is because I'm a Sanjia court. So make by your fight ani ni aje boahine ani biamine la mole ne kueseba ani no me elumoyeli amokoya challenge your court because me na kan no le nkekpagbi until court ba cho money potene yo manche akasiti muku na kan jeme kometo nkekpagbi ni o pa akashukwe kaja mashika agbi adan town self ba fe na kan ka obo manche ni sane yo until na ba ye aka pene bono batayigo. The restoration of the La Paramountcy puts the Akuchoche at the level of a divisional chief. The Shikitele is not a chief. The Shikitele is a Wulomo of the Jobu Shrine and has no stool. The Mankralo is a Wulomo of the Okumaga Shrine. The Mankralo is not an Akuchoche or divisional chief. The Mankralo is a chief of the Anoho people of La and Osu with his stool, which he brought from Anoho in the Volta region. Neither the Shikitele nor the Mankralo are from Lumoshishi, Kowe, although they have signed land documents in that capacity and purported to represent the last two fully aware they are misrepresenting themselves as indicated on the ex-parte motion scheduled to be heard later this month. Numo ofane anukwale. Ani nyekanyini ne wowolo shishi. Ake nyen represent kowebiye. Ni ya anukwale niye. Nye bena kan egbe. Miss Monima no shishi. Ani La Traditional Council ameye egbe ni amaka mi ni ne wolo shishi keji awon shipon ke awe kuko ni na kan shipon amame no alo akewu amedin shipon leje moko ono wanye mi nu na wole akewu ajala weweku ami ni la abo nda na ajala weweku ami so ani la mi bisani ile ani La Traditional Council ye wale ni amesan yo wolo ke shipon won mo ni na kan shipon weku poten ko no alo akucho poten ko no and the La Traditional Council yegbena ni amenya amefi ona kan amenyo ameka amene ne wolo shishi na kan. As to whether the reopening of the Traditional Council will happen tomorrow 7 November 2024 or not, or even if opened, who will be present and how it will pan out is unknown, just like the recall of the Parliament of Ghana. We have seen what is happening in Boku and what happened in Parliament. These must guide all as we navigate the La Traditional Council reopening under the auspices of the Greater Accra Regional Minister. I can tell you emphatically, that I can tell you. Traditional Council, as it stands now, still Agbeleko. La Traditional Council, still Agbeleko. ni to mo beni nkebo ani ona noko ni wanyami nu na ewie no kele ba je wani ile no ni kura wanyami nu na ewie ni nkele ba je wani in terms of no ni ya no land looting shipo omo now all the other stuff ni lay out no ele inlay jela anyojimi whether shikitele esan woloko ne sa ne sanyo ke la traditional council whether Mr. Afoko shika ikome eba jede ni na kan shika esa na eba jede no menle imbe no mi mani ni nke ba ma no brofo ke evidence imbe evidence ko ni nke ba substantiate no ni ewe shimon ijele woni ake no ni ya no shipo homo ke ju e woni ya no ni ya no ye la ya no ni epilabi eplalame nakaino epilabi ne plalame ni mi kebo ake ole egmebe ni boy amen take nakan advantage ni ameken julame na ameken klola mani ne wo keje lomojibo keji onukpa jibo no yela ni nekeno kone onyo ko yake dabi boni wo yale na aju woni bi cho boni wo yale ni woni bi fite boni wo yale ni shole mo keno yang mewo no wo ba chakie mi pafa ye shiba mi osumola eja ke ko osumola o ba cho nyemi no ba ka nyemi ehi bene ni ya no ye wote aju washikponji na klo woni bi ne wonyemi ehi won me bi aye ni wo fie kome ni wo kpo washikponji ye oni no ya ka shwele mo na asani woni ni ahye no ni woni ni ahye no si anye kwa fe na kan eja ke mo fe mo ntao na o shikpon na ba lepe kotokumi mo fe mo ntao na o shikpon ni lepe e ke nya ke bi ke woku ma ye no blanta nye la na mempi nko blanta nye la ni amempi o blanta nye la na mempi maba chemeni nye wo ye maba mini no wo fenye mini no wo fenye ajushikpo onso ni won pin keje mashi ka gbe adan shika le nche ka ba aka fe no ko ha won press conference is ni nye ke ba left right and center mini no na solve press conference is ni ke meneba fe e ke wo meneba jena meneba fe ke wo meneba jena mini no na solve mini solution ne ke bala nye chowo solution ne ke bala nye chowo ni no ni nke buake eneme ona ne ke wonke adumo no na kan ju la me you know mi mama makane letter mahabo ese jeke wa de nche mayale gidi bear with me makane letter name mahabo from the coalition of aggrieved members of Mati Abonase Abese and Leshi divisions of La amen released November 5th 2024 ni tumobeni nke noni na minji ake tumo mie la traditional council na a close me support yi nyemeni nyenye eche support yi because noni na letter na mie address confirm fears ni femi na atake here nye lo ekome ni your some of the quarters ni your la amen na hale na kan illegal and inappropriate conduct of Stephen Asamoah Boateng, Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Nakanjame subject line in Cabo. Now, ika no feno na me ma be correct ni she obanu she no she jemi to min ke ba ken ne nke anga la traditional council koni mo kwa chojeme ne ke chojo mo kwa chojeme ne ke cloche konji mo kwa chojeme ne ke lola mani bi. Good morning, Mambi and members of the media. We are gathered here to brief you on certain actions by Stephen Asamoah Boateng, Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, which are illegal and inappropriate and amounts to disregard for due process and the law, and also a gross interference in the chieftaincy affairs of law. Between the year 2014 and 2019, some chieftaincy disputes arose in some divisions of law, namely Mati Abunase, Jase, Abese, and Leshi. So beleta na angma Jase bi pe na ame bemi. She Mati Abunase, Abese ke Leshi bi na me fe komi na me maleta ne. So be Jase bi pe bemi. Now, these disputes led to petitions being filed at the Judicial Committee of the La Traditional Council by aggrieved parties from the aforementioned divisions. Some of the cases have also ended up in the court. So, between 2014 and 2019, Majianchema Sanjini ekome bateshi la ni amechoake eteshi Mati Abonase Abese Leshi ke Jirase. Now, neke Majianchema Sanene bateshi esani atano ya Judicial Committee ya la Traditional Council bona bonincho alo case se ekome ya Judicial Committee ya la Traditional Council na ke ekome nwe femini ete court. Now, despite the inability of the La Traditional Council to constitute a judicial committee due to some legal impediments, the La Traditional Council resolved to follow due process and the law by requesting the parties to the disputes to exercise restraint until the final determination of the cases. The position of the La Traditional Council has maintained the status quo and preserved the peace in law. Tomoboni ni se first press conference ni shikiteli glam yake. Ne cases ne fe court. No, I'm a shushunumo na me city majiacheme from these places ne jiake ni sanjie ye court. Ame na ye court ka ye court ata ni court chomo ni poten ni ba ye manche kona agbene asita me and me as I agree with that position. On a bonincho icho ye several times. No, I mean chono wake nakai ni nakai no ya me susumo mie division setene ni maleta na ya me susumo mie nakai ni twenjole ye la for some for wakola nakai ya me ni anshunumo mi. Now, there have been several ministers for chieftaincy during the presidency of there have been several ministers for chieftaincy during the presidency of these cases since 2014. During the pendency of these cases since 2014, but none of them attempted to interfere nor circumvent due process of the law to deal with the cases. Things, however, changed and took a negative turn during Stephen Asamoah Boateng's time as Minister for Chieftaincy and Regional Affairs. So I mean, chono kwake look. Keje 2014 ni neke no kone jeshishiye la majianchema sanjine jeshishiye ana chieftaincy ministers pi shamete moko efe yake eke babu na kensan majianchema sanjine ni yo lami ame beshidi na me allow mla na echuni shi Stephen Asamoah Boateng ne kometo leke ewo la masane mi 3D. Once again, keji oloshi akwemo ni okwoshi ojugba moko eje ese ni ebaba ne ke yaba wo sanemi ne fito ni bi wa blame moko for cheme ni yola ni ke batabia ne amena ko na me ba ka me yake etowo ehi wokpa be. Some months ago, he invited the members of the La Traditional Council Nime to a meeting on the issue of at his office, at which meeting the registrars of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs and the La Traditional Council were present. Nime were surprised to meet some people from Abese at the meeting, since they were not told they would be meeting with some other people in addition to the minister and his team. So achono kwake but the case Stephen Asamoah Boateng and legend Minister for Chieftaincy Affairs name invite la traditional council be keba pay ye officer she na me sheye me na ma na me onukpa ekome eje abese ni ami ameba ni efia me na pe eja ke aka ma ke onukpa ina ni ja abese na ameba meeting ye ko ameba ba na ke meeting na go so efia me na pe now our page 2. The principal elders of Mati Abonose and Okanfrawe of Abese petitioned the Greater Accra Regional Minister on the issue, and a meeting of 4 stakeholders was called at the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council on the 1st of November 2024. At the meeting, Asamoah Boateng exhibited biased, improper, and extremely arrogant conduct. He also purported to arrogate to himself judiciary powers he didn't have under the law. So chemi tienko ni afele November 1st ye regional coordinating council na seja me chono kwa kenega Asamoah Boateng enowomo ke abumo ke bole akemenwe basabasa nojuno ni echu ejeme eni echo judge na efe yake ba tasanjie mi ni na kan sanjie ekome ye court wo mo no tefi hotel ni je judge jile na tasanie mi na yue. He said he suspended the traditional council because it didn't have the requisite number of members to function properly, and that he met with Nime on the issue and reached an agreement with them as regards those who have to be admitted into the council in order for it to function properly. So Asamoah Boateng na pe neke ekake la traditional council amebe me aboni asane amena ni ameya no na ametuni ake la traditional council no wo ni ekecheme pe eka ma ke amebe me no be ebanga ke atabia mi ni ameba na me kona gbe na agbele ni amechunu chumoni asana amechum. He said Nime defied his directive to admit some people into the traditional council and rather sent him a restraining order from their lawyers, which he ignored because he doesn't give consideration to legal process, and that when legal processes come his way, he leaves them to the Attorney General and goes ahead with what he wants to do. Hence, his decision to ignore what the traditional council lawyers served on him and went ahead with the suspension of the council. So I mean, chono kwake honorable Stephen Asamoah Boateng ni chieftaincy minister ne egbeda na yuake ne ke na ke ake eba sumoni enga la traditional council ni me pene ni ame lawyer fu enmala ake eke yakawo la magien chema sanemi shi ekele kake lawyer fu eke no ko ma le ke Attorney General le ebu le ya no na chu ko emene minister ni ko emene esane ye minister ni to mo be ni kon ke blame mi le onu pa ni nye la ma yin ta fla che ye shiba mi cheme nye ni nke blame ba me nke ko nyo shi okwe gbo Stephen Asamoah Boateng je gandan gbe fomo bi ni le ba je man ne be ba ko shi habo. He said Nime are defying the suspension order and have been meeting, and that he is being lenient with them by not locking the council premises. Bodienche komo kuanye mo taflache legbo taflache. He made a statement that he doesn't shift when he takes a decision, even if the president asks him to shift. Even if the president asks him to shift, he said if the president pushes him to shift, he wouldn't, but instead will ask the president to come and do his job. The reason why he has resigned severally in the past. Ona nukpa ni. Ona enowomo. Jo nukpa ni. Yemi onukpa. So enowomo. Ona enowomo. Once again, in can blame me. Ekele ke president te kela ke fe no kopu efe. Ni ke president te ba gbe na ba panu chumo ne ba ke president ta ke lele nche ba ne ba chu. He asked the parties to the chieftaincy disputes to brief him on their cases, after which he purported to arrogate to himself judiciary powers he didn't have as a minister to rule on the cases in an openly biased way, and illegally dictated that those he has ruled in favor of be admitted into the traditional council on the 7th of November 2024 for him to come and inaugurate. because what he was doing was not legal. He didn't allow lawyers to speak at the meeting. No, because what he was doing was not legal, he didn't allow lawyers to speak at the meeting. Ona, let him check a judge. Nisanjine ekome ye court. Asamoah Boateng ebu court to it. Let him check a judge. Ne ye sani. Ne oda ke. Nisanjine ye court na ye. Oda ke le no ne yue akenwachuni. The meeting that we thought was to find an amicable solution to the issue turned out to be otherwise, as it was rather a meeting to affirm Asamoah Boateng's agenda to have some people admitted into the La Traditional Council at all costs. The above accounts of events clearly exposes the illegal and inappropriate conduct of Stephen Asamoah Boateng. He showed his disregard for due process and the law when, in collaboration with the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, they directed the La Traditional Council to admit some people they claim to be chiefs into the council, despite cases pending against those people at the Judicial Committee of the La Traditional Council, and the court with respect to their legitimacy as chiefs. Ne any committee for some reason ekola ni je la anyojimi ni je neke quarters ne woni nu hihie surely ikeke sane ye court ni ataw na determine money asane ye manche. I support na kan gbe ake amme ni court a decide money potene ba ye manche dana city. Once again ekola ni je la anyojimi ni be ne ke hia ine na yo manche ye miye ne woni mi na le na kan. Ona surely ye mi susu mo miye ke je mashika agbe adan ke traditional councils na efe on ke efe o ma ke square ta flache bule baba wa traditional councils I feel. He acted inappropriately by suspending the La Traditional Council with a lame excuse of it lacking the requisite numbers to function properly. Couldn't they have managed with the 5 chiefs on council who have no issues and expedite action to constitute a judicial committee for the cases pending to be adjudicated on, rather than to force people who do not qualify to be chiefs under the laws of Ghana to be admitted into the La Traditional Council? If the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs is functioning with 6 chiefs, why can't the La Traditional Council function with 5 chiefs? Oh, we wa Obaji amewani. Alone na me yeah. Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs majanche me pape oje. Na me de benke ba me nje na me fo shiki ya me. Na ke no na na afi no kala me ye no more. Why can they not function? Like I said, if you belong to the other quarters, ni is an city ne. Na city konye. Beeshe na saninye chanye aka nye me ninye ka aka enough is enough. Wo be eyin court to esanje wokpa why ya ni wa take our rightful place. Ye La Traditional Council kona pa wo shishimo kona pa wo juwe. One may also ask if all traditional councils in Ghana have requisite numbers to function properly, and if not, why haven't they been suspended and only La Traditional Council was suspended? Oh, no, no, suspension in Kakpa and look, no, la, Kajamashika Beadan, so why single out the La Traditional Council? Mashi, no, no, like mashi, eko yosu, me no suspend yosu. Eko teshi me ya majiache menyo, me no suspend teshi. Tomang, kaje bia mi na me manchagba me woko mancholo, me no suspend tomang. No one femina pe aka the other quarter say I'm in support ne kinokwe ashishila me ne femina pa ke de amenya me put am differences asana mbaka ke where apply wo mo she was tanshi na ba shishi wo. Asamoah Boateng disrespected the members of the La Traditional Council by not engaging them properly on the issue, and also attempting to force them like children to admit people who have issues about their legitimacy as chiefs into the council. He also disrespected and tease the people of La by saying at the meeting that there is some big money that is due La, but he is preventing La from having it because of the council suspension. Look at this nonsense. Just look at this nonsense. And you cannot blame anybody but the people of La. If you are able to put your house in order, never try, never take charge of only be, never fitele. Asamoah Boateng grossly disrespected the President of the Republic of Ghana when he openly said during the meeting at the Regional Coordinating Council that if he takes a decision, he doesn't shift. And if the President asks him to shift, he won't, but will ask the President to come do his job. What can it be? I repeat it. His biases and fixation concerning the issue are highly suspicious, and he should be investigated on that. I'm telling you. These other quarters now may issue with the traditional council. Amen. If Asamoah Boateng is allowed to carry through with his illegal agenda, it will result in the aberration of the customs of law and render the authority of the traditional leaders useless, since anyone can get up to say he is a chief without following due customary process, and the traditional leaders will have no control to check such acts. This will lead to disorder and chaos in law, which will negatively affect its peace and progress. We, the aggrieved parties, will not sit down for law to turn like English Alata and Boku, and shall therefore fiercely resist any attempt by Asamoah Boateng to carry through with his illegal agenda, since he now says anybody at all can get up to say he is a chief. We want to tell him that we are all now chiefs, and we will present ourselves to be admitted into the La Traditional Council on the day the council will admit those he illegally wants to be admitted. If you make agbele council, so I mean cholo kwake keja Asamoah Boateng ke mo fe mo ba ye manche, but mo me fe manche ni mo no kate na agbele council ba me fa me baba. My boy. My boy. At the meeting, the minister asked Nime to brief him on the chieftaincy cases in the divisions of law. Nime gave a brief on the cases and supported their submission with relevant documents. The minister then asked the Abese people to brief him on their side of the issue, in which brief they claimed their purported chief was properly installed, and also that they did not need approval from the La Traditional Council as regards their purported installation, since the divisions of La are independent of the La state. Nime told the minister that they would have wished if those who brought a case against the purported Abese installation were present at the meeting. But the registrar of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs said that would be prejudicial. The minister went ahead and told Nime that as the supervisory minister of the tradition of the minister went ahead and told Nime that as supervising minister of the Traditional Council, he is directing them to admit Kwade Okropon of Abese and Ajay Boain of Mati Abonase into the Traditional Council, despite the pending cases, and that anyone who has an issue can go to court. Nime requested that he put this directive into writing. Subsequently, Nime received a letter dated August 6, 2024 with the subject admission of chiefs into the La Traditional Council, and signed for the acting president of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs by the registrar, Enoch Ado, requesting Nime to admit Ajay Boain and Kwade Okropon into the La Traditional Council, despite the cases pending before the Judicial Committee of the La Traditional Council and the courts. Once again, why is Stephen Asamoah Boateng hell-bent on disrespecting the courts? These cases are in court. Let the legal process play out. Kagbena mo fe mo ni court e ba decide akeleji manchenie keka sitle keke na gba be court decide. Nime caused their lawyers to write in reaction to the above mentioned letter to explain the legal implications and the constraints of Nime as regards the directive of the minister and the regional house of chiefs, the elders of the Mati Abonese quarter and the Okamfranwe clan house of chiefs, who have cases against Ajebuahin and Kwade Okropon, also wrote to the minister and the regional house of chiefs on the issue. So onukpa ini amen challenge ne ke majiache me enyo ne minister insist ke asita me amame mawolo ke minister ke dabi no ya no ame sumo ame cases against ne ke me enyo ne. Without receiving responses to the letters by the lawyers of the La Traditional Council and those of the elders of Mati Abonase and Okamfranwe of Abese, a letter dated 9 September 2024, which went viral, was issued by the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs in collaboration with the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, suspending the La Traditional Council until further notice to put in place measures for its smooth running. So one and only back now a suspension letter about once again chairman my minister letter ejia mena shieteno ni issue letter na suspend me. What beneta? I'm here a few minutes. The suspension has created tension in La and threatening the peace that La has enjoyed over the years because people are attaching negative twists to it, which has led to attacks on members of the La Traditional Council, accusations and counter-accusations from some quarters, and agitation by some sections of the youth. How can the last one? Asamoah Boateng said during the meeting at the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council that he has the backing of the president and cabinet. We do not believe that statement of his, since the president we know to be an astute lawyer and a seasoned human rights activist, will not support and condone such conduct and illegality. Asamoah Boateng's contemptuous and illegal conduct is underserving of a public officer and as such a minister of state, and will bring the image of the government into disrepute if he is allowed to carry through with his actions. We shall therefore petition the president to call Asamoah Boateng to order and deal with him on his inappropriate and illegal conduct. Thank you. So wolo any quarters name ma no juno ni ikane abwe, and like I said once again keji onyo ko shia bobaba ne ba take charge ya wo shia ne ba fe no sa no ne sa ne ba fe no nyosumo no chameni yola kenye tawo ne kenoko safu e nke be she ne sane nye fe komi pole nche komo no ni wakane ika ke no fe no ni yo mi anu kwale because nle. But if this is anything to go by, this tells you okay, enough of the press conferences. Politicians take advantage of these divisions. Say, namen yano, namen julu, namen kulanya nibi. Bodinche kwamo. Wakola kenune yue miyamale. Eke shikakwe banasa ne eke alame. She because la me fia me ni bi odogba ewe tashika no nkana kan kejo nyo kra oshi odogba bo ba je eko ne baba ne be ba fo shia boni le sumo chameni yola beshe kenye sumo la ni la kanye twino beshe na saninye punye differences aside beshe na saninye chanye akanyeme ninye tashi ni sanjine ni yo nyetemfe ni sane ke sanjine ni ka ngbokogbe na ejema na ba chonye no ni efi no ni nyefi cheme beshe kelele e donyaka aklola ma shiponji kelele e donyaka ajula mani kelele e donyaka ni bina sanila me ana me na enough of the press conferences. Press conferences back and forth. Enough of the press conferences. You get press conferences back and forth. Press conferences back and forth. Kanto asi kanto. Inme akwa inme. Niyoywe akanyeme. Neke mi fu inefe aberife koni me ni sa aka meta traditional council ameta geme boni afa ni ojotwa keju keni bi ni feel aka ya no geme na sa afo ile nyenye wiemuni nyenye money shiko ka shishibo ni otase ni ofe no ne ba fe ne ba ngbegbe no atokpo no ye abaya no na ba shishibo da so cheme ni ye yo ne ke quarters ne ni ye nisusu momie a shinye shikai na asane nye na akanye beshe na asane nye chanye ni nye kenye yayua ni nye pa ne ke ni fe mu ne boni ofe ni nya atashi yo kpono yi kaka wolu eba na nwa won ye no ko ni nye na aka nwa won ni mo kwa aka twose ne ba kanya aka nwa zero ye no beshe cheme beshe cheme yemeni yola beshe press conferences are enough of it. Ewa moko. Enough of the press conferences. Ewa moko. Chemeni yola enough. Mena bese me ba fia me no wa mati abona se ba fe me no enough of the press conferences. You are not helping your cause. You are not helping your cause. Asisi nye femo we lame. Aju nye femo we lame. Kenye nta osisi mone ke june sa fu e mi pa nye fa ye shiba mi. Nye fie kome kon. Nye fie kome kon. Acho mi ni tete obobi ashon. Ni tete TV jino ni okwo ni oyi wala do akọ febe. E bayi beba sheke kani mogo lakabo ye shiba mi kejo subscribe ku e bo mo den ko no subscribe chata shi ko subscribe ku e bo mo den ko no subscribe ko gbena jalinke ke amena me ba fita wo yi ami gontin no ni ya anwen ko ye jomo ko no smu no chon ka we na ke jomo chomo wo nkan yo no fe no na ke wo jeme alo ke osmu ni man bi anu ogbe ye yibo no na yue mo mfoni ne no bo mo de no ka maje mi jeme mbeji ni tete obo bi ashon oyi wala don wa adi enche wo ba pe wo
Baba, it's neat. Them say you want to chop my